Okay. Well, welcome to the second meeting in our new building. April 30th, 2025, 6:30 p.m. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Roll call. Members present. We have Ben Peters, Michael Gary, Bill Lola, myself, acting mayor Craig Schulte. We have our city attorney Chris Hood and Patrick Knight, and Kim is present also. I was seeing one of you zooming in. Okay. Kim is present. Is that anybody else zooming in? Just that's everybody. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Open forum. Do we have anybody present for open forum?
It's here for the North Point street closure.
Did you want to speak to it
Okay.
or just here in support of it?
Here in support of it.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for coming. You'll be on our next item, I guess, after we talk about the consent agenda. Do we have any discussion on the consent agenda? As far as payment of bills, the other item on the consent agenda that would be passing with all of this would be the Cook County Pride sidewalk permit request that has been filled. It should be in your packet, I guess. So with those four items, any discussion on any of those?
I would put a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I would second.
Okay, motion was made by Ben Peters and seconded by Michael. All in favor, Ben?
Aye.
Bill? Michael?
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well. Next item on the agenda is the street closure in front of the North Point for prom. There's let's see, I got the pictures in here too. There's pictures in the application is in your packet. Also pictures of what the closure is going to look like, and also a list of adjacent businesses who have signed off and that are in support of this closure. Closure would be let's see, I get to that address here. May 3rd from 8 until midnight. Is that what I'm 3 hours, May 3rd. They're gonna, and I believe they're going to be setting up on May 2nd, and then the next day on the 4th we'll be taking the tent down. They're setting up a tent in front of North Point. And all that from the city is that we provide blockage of that street on the Highway 61 side, and the other side adjacent to the alley that runs between Joint and the bargain shop there.
Point of clarity, I think my understanding of the timeline is that they're going to be setting up the tent on that Friday, May 2nd, so that the kids can decorate
Right.
the venue. It would be up. So I would assume then that the street would remain closed all the way from Friday evening all the way until Sunday mid-morning.
Correct.
Even though the application doesn't, it says it's a 3-hour event.
Did you guys?
Right. Right.
We do.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, thank you for considering us. Sorry, I didn't put that on that application. I put it in the letter saying the timeline, so I'm sorry about that mishap. So the kids are coming after school on Friday. We were hoping to set up the tent and have it all there. And then it would be there all day Saturday, and the businesses all supported every single one on the block. And then we are going to try and take the tent down actually Saturday night. So then it would be away and would be clear to take down the barriers by 8 a.m. on Sunday. So before the businesses open, if that helps with the clarity.
Great.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I appreciate that all the business owners adjacent and up and down the street were consulted and asked for support. I think that's meaningful.
And the ones behind us too.
Yeah, why not? Get them all.
We just got them all. They were very, very kind. So,
Yeah.
and we've got the kids here kind of who've been organizing it too. So.
Awesome. Great.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Any other discussion on that? I think the city street department will be notified for getting the barricades set up for you that Friday. Do we have a motion to approve the application?
I would move to approve that application.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, Bill seconds it. Michael makes a motion to approve. Bill seconds the application. We have a vote. Ben,
Aye.
Aye.
Michael, Bill,
Aye.
aye. Okay,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. Thank you. So that carries. Thank you. Let's see. Let me get back to the.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Thanks.
it.
Good
Yeah,
idea.
thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Good idea. I'm glad you're helping out and supporting in support of the kids. It's a great thing to see in Grand Marais for sure.
Yeah.
Have a great night.
Yep.
Next on the agenda would be council and staff reports, unless there's anything else that, any other discussion anybody has?
Mm.
Mm-mm.
Anything? Okay. Who wants to go first? Okay.
I haven't had any meetings, so
So you'll go first.
I just might.
Okay. Ben, you have nothing. Bill, do you have anything?
Yeah, we had a meeting with the Arrowhead Animal Rescue, and they wanted to get together with Mike and myself and go through the agreement and finalize that. So we're planning to get together on May 8th and hammer that out, go through it. So that's about all I got.
Okay. Michael?
Yeah, I had yeah, thanks, Craig. Yeah, I had a library meeting and we continued our discussion about a safety door for an exit or a new exit door. There, we did get all of the bids that we were expecting to get, but they're all pretty high. So we're putting that on the back burner for now. We also talked about, setting up, there's no cameras there. And we had talked about last time getting like a professional service and all this kind of thing. And then we were thinking about using Sundew, seeing if that would be a better deal. And they were all just pretty darn expensive. So in the end, we decided to go with just, and I don't remember which one it was, but we decided to just go with one of the Ring or something like that, something
Right.
affordable for us. And just considering our scale, it's not huge, there's more manual labor to it, but it's vastly cheaper. And it's something we can do right now. Like we've got the money in the bank and we can do it. So we'll just do that. And, and we did also discuss about, it always looks like we have money, but so much of that is tied up, and things that we can't spend on, like we can't spend it on the door, we can't spend it on the cameras, that kind of thing. So that was good for everybody to hear, like, yeah, we've got these funds, but we can't use them for just anything.
Can you elaborate? Like, why are they, you can't be?
Yeah, well, some of them are, I guess they're spoken for, and actually, Kim could talk about them.
I don't want to interrupt, but I remember we had talked about it during
Yeah.
last year's budget cycle
Right.
about the restricted funds.
Yeah.
but that we discovered in that process that it restricted is sort of a name only. Like it's not entirely accurate to say they can't be used except for specific.
Well, I think we were looking at like the one, like the fund that we could actually access. And I was thinking it's is it the 515, Kim? Is that
215.
250? It's close. But can you speak to that?
Yeah, so there's a couple different funds and the library board set one of the funds to be spent on things that are not in the normal budget for the library. And the other one they set more as an endowment to use the interest of it, not the whole pocket of money. And we've used pretty much of can use it for training or other things. That pocket of money has gotten used up over time.
So is it the 215 that is the one we use the interest from? Is it that one?
They are both in 215,
Oh,
but
okay.
one is
Sorry.
considered Hazel Matthews and the other is other endowments.
Mm.
So these funds only really get replenished if somebody in their will says, I want to will this much of my estate to the library. And always they say not for ordinary operating expenses.
And so, I mean, I guess I didn't have the conversation, but since we're here and we're talking and the public's here, so the door doesn't fall under that, I assume.
Well, the deductible for the flood was used, the restricted funds were used to satisfy the deductible, and that's not
Yeah.
normal operating either, right? So,
I mean,
yeah, argument could be made that,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we didn't make the determination. We were told. that
Sure.
that was the
Yeah.
best thing.
Yeah.
But Kim, are you saying different? Are you saying those funds?
Well, I wasn't included in that discussion. so-
Okay. I thought that, I misunderstood. I thought that, Amanda had spoken
So-
with you guys about that.
A lot of that money was used for your air source heat pumps and
Right.
and all of that improvements that were made over there.
Okay.
Wouldn't the door be along the lines of like building? It's not really building upkeep, but it is definitely improving the building,
Yeah.
you know?
And I haven't seen the bids for the doors.
Okay.
My personal opinion is if that's for safety, you're gonna run from somebody. You are running out where all the windows are and they can see where you're going, where the other
Right.
exits that are existing, you could run in multiple hiding places
Mhm.
once you exit that building.
Yeah.
So is that door just to add another exit other than the? Well, you have a main entry, then you have an exit on the sidewalk side or the street side.
Yeah.
And you have
right.
an
North.
And then there's
exit
one on the alley.
on the east side as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, there's another
Yeah.
exit on the east side. Okay. So there's
Yeah.
currently 3 exits now. An entry,
Right.
yeah, and with an entry. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
When they did a safety audit, this was recommended by 2 of the places that looked at our building. They said, here's what we recommend, having an egress of some kind. And they looked at a window, like, could we just get a punch out window or something like that would, satisfy that. And they went through all that. And when they looked at, actually, they would have to make the window big enough, because those windows are kind of small, big enough. They were kind of like, you've spent all this money, you might as well put in a door, which would be much more effective if people just want to pop out rather than, if they're older or younger and trying to climb out and that kind of thing. So that's why the door was kind of brought up as the thing that we should do.
Are there any interior modifications that could be made to make those other 2 doors maybe more accessible for that emergency scenario, or is that?
We did look at that, and they're kind of the one, I mean, the one is a straightaway, so it is available. In terms of going out on the east side, going towards the Colo Biker and that kind of thing. So that one is totally available for people to go out. This was just an additional one that they thought
Maybe.
would be the thing to use.
So they also put in a door between the front desk and the staff area.
Yeah.
So that
interior.
staff could enter in there and be able to close that door.
And then there's
know,
only one
and then
door
exit
exiting
out the
there front to
side.
the, yeah, okay,
Yeah, going
Yeah,
back west.
to
Yeah.
the west. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but, yeah, so I don't know, maybe we can talk a little bit more about what's available to be used.
right.
Okay, anyway, but that was what I got, but obviously we
Cool.
can have more of a conversation about that. But the cameras did get done because we did have that from
Nice.
our fund.
Okay.
So
Good.
anyway, thanks guys.
Okay. I don't have anything yet. Next week I will, I guess, for the park board. So with that, if there's any more business from anybody, I don't see anything. I guess we can adjourn the meeting.
All right.
All right, thanks Greg.
Have a great night.
Yep.
Good job, Craig.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Chris.